Hello everyone, once again Fraczon here, and I'm gonna do another post commentary as I did in my last video. However, this time instead of going for, let's say, the more traditional cruiser gameplay and battleship gameplay that I've been doing in my previous videos, today I'm gonna try out some destroyer action. Our weapon of choice will be the Izokaze Tier 4 Japanese destroyer, and I must say that recently I've been starting to play around with destroyers. I'm most definitely not an experienced destroyer player in general, but what I can say is that after maybe 10-15 games of gradually grinding my way up to the Tier 4 Isokaze, is that actually destroyers have a completely different playstyle as I would have expected it to be, but it's actually considerably fun. Now, just a couple of stats. I have 3 torpedo launchers that have a range of 7 kilometers each, and they have a reload time of about 40 seconds. Then I do have 3 measly turrets that have a 8.3 kilometer range, and damage-wise are not exceptional, shall we say? I was about to say utterly ridiculous, but let's say that they do tend to, like, sometimes they can do maybe 1k damage, exceptionally 2k damage, but we'll see it as the gameplay progresses. Anyway, seeing this map with these, let's say, ABC points, I thought that going to B would not have been a good option, or at least I thought maybe not particularly fun. I really like the idea of moving on towards C, and you see there's, let's say, a little passage between the 2 major islands, and I thought, oh, maybe I can go there, maybe catch maybe battleship by surprise is hard because the battleship would not be speedy enough to get there, but who knows, maybe a cruiser maybe is completely unaware. It could be fun, it could get to an easy first kill, and so I'm just like gradually making my way. I see that we both have aircraft carriers, so that's good. I might be going aircraft carrier hunting. I start spotting, let's say, a destroyer and the Omaha, and when I see the Omaha, I'm like, yeah, goodness gracious, don't want to be there. And then here we are, another 2 Omahas. I'm like, okay, fantastic. I'm literally trapped between 3 Omahas, so what do I do? So the idea here is, well, run, fundamentally, which is something you tend to do quite a lot as a destroyer. So I think I really want to avoid the 3 Omahas, as since on the enemy team there are 5 cruisers, and I think, well, if 3 cruisers are here, what are the chances that I'm gonna meet the other 2 while I go in the other parts of the map? I thought maybe not much, maybe the other cruisers are pushing to A, or maybe they push to B. So basically what I was hoping to achieve here is to get a pretty, let's say, straight line towards maybe an exposed battleship or an exposed aircraft carrier. I was always on the lookout. I did try and spam some torpedoes before, but they were, let's say, torpedoes in hope for a miracle. And here again, my spirit sinks because I see the 4th cruiser out of 5 in basically under a minute, and I'm like, okay, this is probably gonna be one of those games in which I get sunk super early. Never mind, I guess I'm still learning destroyer, so as you see, I'm just like randomly spamming torpedoes because I'm thinking pretty much in the mindset of I might get destroyed, and then finally some hope, because here I spot these 2 battleships, and they seem to be all alone. I'm really tempted, I think, at this moment in time to sink the Omaha, and I think as a destroyer player, you should really resist the urge to charge headlong into a cruiser. And you see here I'm detected, and this is where the pain begins, because I'm actually here. I was very surprised that the cruiser did not target me. So I spam the torpedoes. I'm really hoping that something will hit, and I'm of course making cover for the island because the Omaha has fantastic firepower and quite rapid reload rate, so it's definitely looking, let's say, to get away. Hoping that maybe the torpedoes I spammed against it might hit, maybe get 1 lucky hit, but I wasn't really, let's say, hoping for it too much. It was just to annoy him, maybe to steer him off course, basically gain me a little bit more time. And here I know there's a battleship behind this rock, And here, and I'm a bit worried that the Omaha behind me is following, and I'm just not sure what I should be doing. And here I think I make a big misplay, because you see there's a battleship behind the island, but I choose to circle behind it. Well, maybe, of course, I mean, this keeps me safe from the Omaha, but this means it will take me much longer to get on the tracks of the battleship I was hunting. And so maybe if I'd been a bit less risk averse, I may have managed to sink the Miyogi, or at least get within range and cause some serious trouble. Well, instead, by choosing, let's say, this more risk-free path, I'm kind of circling around the island. I'm praying that the other Wyoming doesn't see me. I mean, I highly doubt it's super far away, but still, I was afraid I might get spotted. And you see the distance is about 7.7 kilometers, so it's too far away. I can't do anything, because my torpedoes have 7 kilometers range, and even if I get maybe within 5 kilometers, the ship is not, let's say, coming towards me, it's going away from me. And so I'm a bit in a conundrum here, because I don't really know what to do. Because it will take forever to catch up, and even if I catch up, I'll probably run into some other ship. So I'm nearly considering shooting, but then again, if I shoot, I will be going to reveal my position. And then here, this is the turning moment, because you see these torpedo bombers on the map, and I'm like, that's really strange. Why would torpedo bombers be there unless there's an aircraft carrier behind that island? So I'm thinking, well, the battleships I'm hunting are really far away. Like, there's no way I'm gonna reach that Miyogi at 13 kilometers of distance rather than the other Miyogi at 7 kilometers distance and running. So I'm like, fair enough, I'll take my chances and I'll go check what's behind the island. Worst case scenario, I don't find anything, I'm still alive, I can still kind of go and hunt for other, let's say, ships. Maybe I'm not gonna make a vital contribution to the others, but still I'll be alive at least. And in the best case scenario, I will be sinking an aircraft carrier, giving, let's say, air superiority to our team, and I just definitely think, like, taking out a valuable component of the enemy team. So while I'm approaching, I'm thinking, goodness gracious, if there's nothing behind this island, I'm a complete idiot, I'm a complete fool. That means I've wasted basically the entire game chasing after ghosts. And so this is kind of the point of truth, and then I see, haha, I have been detected by something. And so, jackpot, I do find the aircraft carrier, and I fire one shot, because for the turrets to turn, it does take an eternity. And here then I'm a bit, let's say, it's silly, probably to more experienced players this will make you laugh. But like, I'm not sure I'm gonna hit these shots. And I think I'm just like firing these torpedoes in a really bad way, because the ship is not in a broadside position. Here I'm very lucky on setting him on fire, and if I remember accurately, I think I'm gonna miss these torpedoes completely. Oh no, never mind, something hit. I don't know, for some reason I thought I'd completely messed the shot off. I do get hit critically, and I think it's time for some smoke generator. I know it's a battleship firing at me from far away, but I really don't want to take my chances. So I'm just like slowly waiting for the torpedoes to come up, and I think I need to learn to use torpedoes, let's say, in a more effective way. Just maybe, I think that the first salvo of torpedoes should have hit and sunk the aircraft carrier. I mean, it's a huge ship, and instead I took 2 salvos, I had to use a repair, was under fire by the Wyoming. But still, I was very content to have spotted and sunk the aircraft carrier. I think that was my main objective, at least up to now. So now I'm feeling very confident, and I think it's worth chasing that Wyoming at 12.2 kilometers distance. I see there's like some other cruiser fighting it, the Furutaka video I made of the Furutaka, but just ship I did not enjoy at all. And so I just see we have, let's say, grand superiority of the dive bombers. I see a battleship, the South Carolina, moving in. I think, that's probably going to be an easy prey. Why should I bother, let's say, going towards that? I mean, these 2 ships certainly can, let's say, make the difference and sink it. And so I'm thinking, well, then again, maybe I should go towards maybe the other Wyoming that is here on my left, since it's like at full health, and maybe there I can kind of make a bit more of a difference, because my fear was I'm going to that, let's say the low health Wyoming, and I will dump torpedoes, and while I'm dumping torpedoes, the other battleship or cruiser will sink it. And here I do see our cruiser, the Furutaka, being, let's say, mowed down. And so I'm thinking, well, this is fantastic. I have two battleships approaching from both sides. I just wanted to be sure that it's exactly how I see things. And I'm thinking, well, sure, I'll dump torpedoes in both directions and we'll just make havoc. And so I'm just like also trying to figure out if reinforcements are coming. I do see on the minimap that there are two cruisers apparently that are gradually making their way to the battlefield, and as I suspect, they're gradually killing off that Wyoming. So at this point my mind is rather decided. I think there's no point in going for the super low health Wyoming. I'm going to go for the full health Wyoming. And here, dumping these torpedoes, like, I think right about, maybe not now, but a few seconds from here, I realize that those torpedoes are meaningless. They are leading absolutely an insignificant amount and they will never hit the target. And here I'm cursing myself quite a lot, because that could have been the element of surprise that could have made the difference between sinking the ship immediately, and instead, like, by completely missing and botching the shot, I give the opportunity to that Wyoming to, let's say, keep hitting stuff and maybe sink one of the two cruisers that is here to support me. Here I had to do the turnaround, and I think that might have been another pretty big mistake, because the logic behind this was, oh well, if I go straight at him, he'll see me and he'll sink me, but then again, he's under fire from two cruisers, he'll never even notice me. And that was I think a valuable loss of time. I think this is something I need to be, I mean, as a destroyer player, a bit scared, let's say, of engaging, because of course you have so little health, you have barely 9,000. So I was thinking I have to be cautious. I'm the last destroyer of my team. If I die, basically nobody else is going to be able to sink the battleship. And you see like how this, let's say, my lack of activity has led this battleship to survive. And I think and you see like just critting the Omaha like crazy, like basically well, Citadel shot for sure, but basically killing it. And maybe if I'd acted before, that Omaha would have been at full health, and so on and so on. But there's no point in over-evaluating the situation. I made this mistake, and I could have done better. So definitely for the next time is a lesson learned. Here I'm thinking, sure, maybe I don't want the torpedoes to spread too much, but maybe this could have been another mistake, because I still have a hard time trying to lead torpedoes accurately. I'm still very used to leading shells. You don't really lead them too much. Well, here I'm completely out of my depth, so I think, sure, let's drop smoke. But this is like already, let's say, it's a bit of a match point. I had 2 match points. I filled them equally, and here I see that basically the other battleship is pretty much dead. So I decide to fire off torpedoes. But this is just like first, just to be sure it's going to die. And while I'm at it, I'm thinking, yeah, sure, I'll fire off shots, and I actually get a lucky shot, and the small destroyer kills the big old, let's say, battleship with a cannon shot. That's rather funny. So, sensing the situation, I see this destroyer, and I'm like, well, let's try and take it and kill it. It only has 600 health. I find it ridiculous to not be able to kill it. And I'm just waiting for it to align perfectly to have this just broadside. I only have 3 turrets, but it's more than sufficient to accomplish the job, in my opinion. So slowly take aim, I fire, and I'm very satisfied with seeing I managed to sunk it. I just sunk it. And this also kind of shows that I'm still much more used to, let's say, leading with classic shots and not with torpedoes. And this is exactly what I have in mind while I'm, let's say, going towards this Myogi, considering it's the last enemy ship. And if I die, I'm not sure the other two cruisers can manage to kill it because it has full health. So here I'm just like firing torpedoes like crazy because I'm partially afraid of being one-shotted, so I'm like, well, if I'm gonna get one-shotted I might as well dump all my torpedoes now and hopefully something hits. And here I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I'm not gonna hit it, this might be the risk, this might be the reason why we lose the game. And then here I start to feel a little bit more confident, I'm like, it might just as well hit something. But I'm also, let's say, a bit more relaxed. Because I see that my torpedoes will be coming out in 5 seconds. And of course now I'm really shitting my pants because I'm at 2000 health and I'm like, I really need to be hitting these shots. By the way, I only had 2 torpedoes available because I had been critically hit to my torpedo launchers, and apparently when you repair torpedo launchers after a critical hit you don't they reset with their full cooldown. They reset with the cooldowns to be, let's say, you have to wait basically for them to be newly available. So I have to wait another 40 seconds to be able to fire my torpedoes. And here I'm really thinking this is my kind of final stand because the other Furutaka is dead. And I'm thinking I'm just gonna have to fire everything I've got against it. And hopefully, let's say, 3 is the charm, 3 is the lucky number. And I'm hoping, goodness, hope these torpedoes hit, because otherwise I'm a fool. And so with 800 health, I do finally manage to hit, let's say, the winning torpedo, flooding and fire, and basically the match ends, let's say, in a rather, let's say, good way for me. I'm happy, I could have done much better, but I think overall it was a good match. And that's all for today, and I hope you will appreciate and comment in the below section.